tutorial, I'm going to show you how to script SSL expiry checks using OpenSSL. So this is brought to you by the Learning PHP course over jumboshop.com. So essentially, I did a previous tutorial where I showed you how to use the curl command and also use PHP with the curl extension in order to find the expiry date of an SSL certificate. So we're going to continue the same thing, except this time we're not going to use curl, we're going to use OpenSSL. So we did on the command line, we use OpenSSL, and then we also use PHP with the OpenSSL extension. So why is this important? This is important because you need to regularly monitor your SSL expiry dates to maintain website security. Expired certificates create a security vulnerability impacting trust and potentially damaging the reputation of the site. So the main reason I came up with this tutorial series is because Let's Encrypt, which is a certificate authority, they announced the end of its sending expiry notifications mail service. So Let's Encrypt is a free automated open certificate authority run by the nonprofit Internet Security Research Group, ISRG. So basically what I'm saying is that in the past, if you use Let's Encrypt, which I do on my website, for example, this one on jumbo.com, is that if something went wrong, maybe the cert bot didn't or could not create a new certificate. The certificate is only 30 days, expire in 30 days. So it would send out a notice, usually I think 20 days or so before the 90 days are up. And then it would obviously you'd get into action and then go manually renew it and see what's wrong. Now that was fine, but it's also kind of a little bit annoying too because for example, sometimes I would work on a subdomain. I would finish my project and I would forget that I created Let's Encrypt. Then after 80 days or whatever, 60 days, whatever, it also send me a notification saying, oh, that we cannot renew the certificate, just letting you know, it's a notification. So I understand why that was probably my fault. I should have also notified Let's Encrypt that the subdomain is no longer active and everything. I get it, but I'm just saying that this way I think it's actually better because you'll be able to take care of your own notifications. For example, here let's go check out the Let's Encrypt announcement. Here you see Let's Encrypt says ending support for expiration notification emails. So this is dated on January 22, 2025, and I believe the date is actually going to be June 4. So sometime in the beginning of actually not yet summer yet, June 4. So it's still in spring when they're going to when they're ending the service. So the focus of this tutorial, I said we're going to just create our own custom script to check for the expiry date of an SSL certificate using either the command line, OpenSSL command, or PHP with the OpenSSL extension. So basically, the pseudocode is this. You basically create a list of domains, including the subdomains to be tracked. You choose the command line scripting such as bash or PHP. Then you check the script to check the listed domains. You can manually run the script. I would recommend you do that just to make sure everything's fine. Then after that, you can create a cron job. I think what I'll do is in the future I'll create an update or to how to set up a cron job, and I can explain it simply there. So basically, what's an SSL? OpenSSL. An SSL is basically the secure sockets layer. It's an encryption security protocol. TLS is the transport layer security. It's a cryptograph protocol for secure communication of a network. And HTTPS, obviously, that's also a protocol. So the HTTP stands for hypertext protocol. The S stands for secure. It's an extension of the hypertext protocol, HTTP. So what is an SSL certificate? That's just a digital certificate that authenticates a website's identity, enables encrypted connection between the web server and the browser. And what's a CA? Certificate authority or certification authority as an entity that stores, signs, and issues digital certification. Remember, so Let's Encrypt will be the one who will be my, for example, Jumbo.com here, they will be the certificate authority or certification authority. So to follow along for this story, you need some type of text editor, but you can also use the command line, so you can use any text editor you want. I gave an example of Apache NetBeans, I think IDE, so you can use that. I'm not sure which one I'll use. I'll decide that as we go. I might use Guinea again. And then for if you're on a remote server, you want to set this up on your remote side, obviously I recommend use SSH, that's a secure shell client, and you have OpenSSL SSH as an example, and secure shell, that just means command line. Okay, so this is the code snippets. You can expand them to, for example, here the cron job. You see the cron job. I'll explain this, I said in a future tutorial. You just set up this one, for example, runs at midnight. Basically, this is the time 0. That's the second, so 0 second. 0 means midnight, and then 1 here means the first of every month, and the comma here means I put another date, so I put 15, so that'll be 15th, 1st and 15th of every month, and then this means you run it basically every day, for every year. That's basically what this means. The asterisk. Okay, so this is a mistake here. I'll fix this. I'll make sure I fix this. It should be OpenSSL. It's a problem with copy pasting. Okay, so basically we're going to parse the certificate. We're going to grab the certificate. We're going to parse it for dates. And as already explained, the pseudocode. Basically, we compare the current day, today, to the expiry date. So obviously, let's say the expiry date is 30 days from now. So that's fine. And for example, if it expired, say yesterday or a previous day from today, that means it's expired and you should take notice. So obviously that's just a pseudocode. What I'm saying is what you can also do is you can say, oh, I only have 30 days, something is wrong, I should then go and go to manually renew it. So that's up to you. And then you can send out your own email notification to yourself. As I said, in this particular tutorial, I'm not going to send out email notifications. It's just manually, but you can easily do that yourself. And then Let's Encrypt also has an acme.sh command that can be used, which can be used. But for this particular tutorial, I decided not to use it because since Let's Encrypt is removing the notifications, they might actually modify this little file or command in the future and to remove all the notifications, right? So, for example, most of the tutorials you're going to see online, they will tell you to use the acme.sh and disable the default notification system, and then you can set up your own. But as I said before, since Let's Encrypt is no longer going to do those notifications, they might remove that actual part, and then you're kind of left up the creek, as I say. So it's better to have your own, your own way. You don't have to rely on something that might be taken away. Another method. So that's why I said I gave you a previous method with curl, and today I'm going to give you another one with OpenSSH. So as you can see here, this is just the screenshots, and I said, yeah, I think I'll use Guinea as well. And then, this is actually, wow, okay, some mistakes here. I don't know why. So, yeah, so this should be libSSL. And then PHP, yeah. So some of this, I'll fix this by the time this video is done. I'll fix all those little spelling mistakes or mistakes there. So OpenSSL is licensed under the Apache license version 2, which is a permissive license. PHP itself is licensed under the PHP license, which is also permissive. Basically, with permissive licenses, the conditions are they require the preservation of the copyright and license notices. You can obviously redistribute as permitted. Just be sure to consult the license for more specific details. So be sure to subscribe, like, follow, and leave comments for more frequent content. And as I said before, I do have a live stream every day. at least for the all of April. So what you do is you go to jumbo.com, you go under the watch menu, you go click on the live sub menu, and you can see, for example, this is the one we're doing right now, the script OpenSSL monitor certificate expiry, and you can see the channel, it's on Odyssey, and the approximate date and time. So, and you can see the one we're going to do tomorrow is right here, and you see it's going to be on this channel, and you can see approximate date and time. Okay, so let's get started here. I am going to minimize this. I created a folder here. It's really not necessary, so that way I can go into the. Let me just get rid of this. Okay, I think that's big enough. Okay, I need to make this just smaller. And then I can zoom in. Okay, that's good. Okay, so in order to check an expiry date for a certificate, you can download the certificate just like with the command we did, curl command before. But in this particular one, there's no need to actually download the certificate. We can just actually parse it right from the website. So in this case, I'm going to use OpenSSL, and I'm going to connect. I'm going to try google.com, 043, and then everything can go to device now. Actually, if I don't do device now, you see what will happen? It will output everything to the screen here. You see, it tells us there's a whole bunch of information here, right? And all we see here, it's this is the it's the issuer or the certificate authority is actually Google Trust Services. So you can see there's a whole bunch of information here, and like I guess that's why it will be hard to parse that. So so what I do, I don't need to see all of that. So what I do, I'll pass it to device now. Then what I'll do is again, device now. Then I pipe it back into OpenSSL. So remember, when it does this, it's like it downloaded the certificate. So now what we can do is we can parse it, and we get the text part of it, and then we can use grep, pipe it into grep, and we're looking for not after. And you see it tells us here, like for example, the one from google.com, you see not after. It says June 23, that's 2025, of course, here, and you see the time. So this is when it will expire. I mean, it's valid until this date, not after that date. So this is how we know the expiry date. So if I was watching a batch command, I could simply use that to check today's date. For example, here, and I just type today, date, I just type date. You see it tells me today is this date here. So obviously this certificate is valid. I compare those two. So now if I want both the start and expiry date, so what I type is OpenSSL S client connect google.com 043. Actually, you know what? It's literally the same command. The only difference is instead of putting after, I just put not. See, when I do that, then it says not before. So meaning that this was when it was actually created. So it was created at the time of this recording, March 31, 2025, and not after, which is, so this is when it expires. Okay, so meaning that it can be renewed anytime before this date. And usually, I don't know how Google does their stuff, but I know how Let's Encrypt does. Let's Encrypt likes to do it at least 20 days. So not at least 20 days. It likes to do it usually about after a month. So for example, this one on April 40th, it will be able to be renewed. Or is it? Yeah, 29, because that's 30 days. Yeah, so it's 90 days. So that's how it would work. Okay, so this is how you do the command line. Now you see how the start, when the certificate was created and when it expired. So that's how to use OpenSSL. So if and I already showed you, I can get the date, just type the date, and then I can compare to these ones. Okay, so that's the command line one. Now we're going to do this in PHP. So what I'll do is I'll create a PHP file. I'll just say touch. I can't remember what I called the other one. I think I'll call it check SSL. I'll just call it check SSL.php. Okay, so I'm going to open this up in Guinea. So what I'll do is I'll open up, I'll create an instance of Guinea. Okay, so I create a new instance of Guinea here. And what I'm just gonna drag this file into here. And I'm just gonna use Guinea. You can run the PHP on the command line, but there's really no need to, so I don't need this anymore. Okay, so I'll just place that in there. And then I'll make sure I zoom, I think. There we go. Zoom just so you guys can see what's going on here. And obviously we need a PHP tag. You don't need a closing PHP tag, but I'll put one there just in case. Okay, so create a variable. So first variable, the domain. So I'll set it to google.com. And the port is 443. Now, because the port is simply an integer, I don't need, or a number, I don't need to actually quote it or anything. The only thing you need to quote is strings or text. Okay, so next, I need to create a context. Let me see how much time it is. I'm checking if anybody wants to chat. Not yet. Okay. So we say context create equals stream context create. Yes. So then what you need to do is pass in an array. So the array is going to be SSL, SSL, and it's another array. So it's capture peer cert, and it's true. Okay, so we close that off. Okay, next we create a result. So it will be stream socket client. So it will be SSL. Then we pass in our domain. In our port. Okay. Comma. Then we will create some variables for the error. Errors, I should have said errors. Come on. $sign error string 30, then stream client connect, and then our variable created before, which is a context create. Then after that, we just get the context, variable which will be stream context get params result. Okay, then after that we now have our cert info equals OpenSSL underscore x. You see there's a whole bunch of methods. The one we want is we want to parse. So this one here, x509 underscore parse. So it's our context. Go on, context. It's going to be an array. So the one we're going to see inside will be options. Then SSL. And our peer certificate. Okay, so then we can, I'll print out everything. So print our cert info. Okay, so now let's run this. So in Guinea, you can go to project, you see here build and execute. You see this icon here? It's the same as this one here. So it's telling me that there's an unknown on line 5. I made a mistake on line 5. Okay, so what I did was, oh yeah, I forgot to close off the array here. So it should be right here. Now it should be okay. Line 9, there's another problem. What does it say? Line undefined cert info. Line 9. Oh, cert, capital I. There you go, capital I. Case sensitive. Okay, here we go. See, it got the cert info, everything here. Now, if we look at this, you can see we have a whole bunch of stuff. For example, there's a timestamp here. That's the signed certificate's timestamp. There's what else is in here? There's another timestamp here, and then you see there's a whole bunch of stuff here, such as the code sign, timestamp. I don't care about. Keep on going up. See, it's a signature, and you see the name from Google, and there should be other. Oh, here we go. Valid. You see, it's valid from. There's a valid from, valid to, valid from time. Valid to time. So these are the ones that we're interested in. Okay, so these are the ones we're interested in. See these ones here? So these are just dates, and this is the time. So we're gonna use all of them. So I'm gonna comment this out. You can see, you can get whatever you want, but I'm just gonna give you an example here. So I'm just gonna echo out the I'll just echo them out. So you see the cert info, valid from, valid to, valid, and so. So this is just a break line to go to the next line. So if I run this now, you can see here, you see, these are the times it print them out. Now if you notice something, this time has a Z on it, or Z, and these are just timestamps. So we can grab one of them, and then we just use the Butene PH thing to do a we can convert it to something more readable for us instead of just those ISO standards. So what we do is I'm going to use my preferred ISO standard. So what this is the year, four digits for the year, 2 digits for the month, 2 digits for the day, and then hour, which will be 24-hour type, and then the minute, and then the second. Okay, and then what I do is because it's already a timestamp, so I don't need to convert this into a timestamp, so I'll pick this one here, valid 2. So this will give me the expiry date. So I do that. Okay. So this down here should give me the actual timestamp in a more readable human, or at least for me, a readable format. If I run that, you can see here. So what I did is I took this last timestamp, this one here, you see the 17506, and I put it in here. So it tells me that it expires on 2025/06/23. If you remember when we checked on the command line, do you remember what that read up to? Yeah, that's June the 23rd. And you see the time, 8:54:36. I'm not able to zoom in here, unfortunately. Sorry. Let me check if I can actually zoom in. Yeah, I can't zoom in. But yeah, if you see this, so that's the time we have here. So then you obviously, as I said, you can run this script and you can do other things. For example, if I have another one here, I'll go to ojambo.com. Actually, yeah, I won't go to ojambo.com. I'll leave it at google.com, and we'll go to google.com and actually do an inspection to make sure that what we got here was correct. Remember, it's June 2020. No, June 2025 is when it expires at the time of this recording. So let's go check that out to make sure it's correct. So I don't do this anymore. So we go here, open up here, and I'll go to google.com, and you'll check the certificate here. Connection is secure. So you see here, look at that. So the time here, you see it's actually Monday, the 23rd of June 2005. Now, the time here is a little bit different because I don't know what time there's, the what do you call those things? The time zones. So it's a little bit off, but you can see I got the June 2025, the expiry date right bang on. So that's how you could, for example, obviously I don't own google.com. What I'm saying is that if I did and I wanted to know when it expires, when it was actually initiated and when it expires, that's how you can look at it, and then you can create your own notifications. Okay, so the article is here on ojambo.com, script hyphen OpenSSL hyphen monitor hyphen certificate hyphen expiry, and all this information is there as I promised. I have code snippets up here. You see here and also here, and then you can the screenshots and the video, live video watching right now. And also be sure to subscribe, like, follow, leave comments for more frequent content. And also quick reminder that I do a live stream every day. Simply go to ojambo.com. You go to live, you go to watch menu, live sub menu, and you can see the current and upcoming live stream content, and also the approximate date and time. So that's for you. So if you do enjoy this, consider supporting me. Purchase one of my WordPress plugins at ojambo.com, enroll my programming courses at ojamboshop.com. Buying my programming books on Amazon, search for Edward Ojambo, links in the description. You can hire me for your programming and app development needs at ojamboservices.com. You can become a donor at ojambo.com/donate. The donate button is also right here in the header. It's a fixed header, so you can simply go there and be able to donate. Okay, so I'll leave this, end it here, and see you in the next one. Thank you.